Now, how does the fresh aspect work? I know Carmel was telling me off air when she first went to the food bank, you could not get fresh. You could get bread, but you couldn't get kale.
I think we've changed a lot over the years. What we've done is we've partnered with the food industry. And of course, there's a lot of food that might go into landfills if there was not a home for it. You know, food that's coming near expiry that just can't get into the stores in time. So we'd have a 5-ton truck, as a lot of food banks do, and we go to food industry, fresh fruits and vegetables that we collect on a daily basis, yogurt, still perfectly great food. Any food that we're able to recoup. Surrey Food Bank is the largest food recovery organization this side of the Fraser River.
Really? And I know Mayor Diane Watts is a big cheerleader for the food bank.
She has been amazing.
And for Surrey.
Is a contributor to our Tiny Bundles program and really believes that we need to look after the most vulnerable of our community.
Baby food-wise, a certain brand better than another, I guess we can't say buy this, don't buy that, but you know, healthy baby, healthy life.
Absolutely, a common brand, you know, a brand that would be probably something you might buy for your baby.
Sure.
It's great, you know, and we partner with a large baby company, food company, and we're able to purchase that formula for a lot less than what you may buy in the stores. So that's tremendously helpful.
How do you prevent abuse of the system? You said you check the true income of the family.
Right.
I doubt there is much abuse, but you can tell me.
You know, there may be, Fanny, but we have a limited number of volunteers and a limited number of staff, and it's not a fun journey to come to the food bank. You're often standing in a line when you arrive because of the volume. At the Surrey Food Bank, we open our doors at 9:30. We shut our doors at 1 o'clock. In that window of time, we can see between 250 and 350 families.
Okay.
So you can imagine coming to the food bank. You know, we don't have a lot of time to spend with you, but we trust that if you are hungry, if you do need the food bank, we're there to help.
And you're there to counsel a little bit, and I don't mean counsel at a psychological aspect, but I know Carmel said the woman was so great to her who served her and didn't make her feel funny about being there. And offered her some hope and some food, which was all good.
We try, and we certainly are there to work with other agencies in our communities. So if you need, you know, ESL, you need your language skills to improve, we're happy to refer you to organizations that can work with you on
Okay, so
that.
that's part of the connection.
Sure,
What about in rural areas?
It gets tough. You look at food banks in northern BC, for example, many who are losing their resources, their industries, jobs are shutting down.
Right.
What I'm hearing from them, first of all, it's hard to get the food there. And within their own community, many of the people who have traditionally been donors have lost their jobs.
Right.
And they're now using the food bank. So they're up
like in a forest town or something, a mill goes down.
We recently helped Burns Lake, for example, provincially, so we could give them a bit of a hand. You know, it's changing. Every community is trying to address the needs within their own communities. So certainly northern remote communities have different issues.
Right. So 93 food banks in BC?
93.
93 food banks. And the profile of the person there, old, young, middle-aged?
You know, if I may, I'd like to share something that I like to explain to people. For example, I say to someone, did you get a good education? Pretty good education, usually. A good job? Able to support you and your family? Yeah. You have your health, physical, emotional, mental?
Right.
Yes. Family? There when you kind of fall down or you need a bit of a hand up? Yes. Friends that are walking the journey with you? You have all of those and you have everything. Take one of those away, and you're now compromised, and you may be needing the food bank.
Yes.
Anyone, lack of education, not a good enough job to support your family, physical, mental health issues.
And it's quite shocking how many people are in that position in this great country.
People like you
of
and I
ours.
Use the food
I
bank.
know, or they're on the street. And you say, and if you've worked in any of the shelters or talked to people who work in the shelters, they'll say, there's a guy in here, he's got a PhD.
I know.
you know,
I know.
fell apart, marriage fell apart, got into drugs, now no longer doing drugs, lost his way
Yeah.
or lost her way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the kids
absolutely.
get,
And these are not bad people.
No.
You know, this is what I try to. Someone said to me one time, well, that person over there looks like they shouldn't be using the food bank. And I said, really? Well, could you draw me a picture of who you think somebody should look like
yeah.
that comes to a food bank, and I will only let those people come through our door.
Whoops.
And he stopped in his tracks and he said, they really are people like you and I.
Yeah, very much so. Now this, the Thrifty Kitchen Cookbook with baby and toddler recipes.
Isn't
I
that
noticed
great?
you have potato soup, my favorite. Almost cabbage rolls, easy to make. So simple, yogurt smoothies, things like that. All food you can get at the food bank.
Possibly. We hope we can provide you with what you need. One week we may, the next week we may not, but you know what we have.
Sure.
You'll find something in there.
Sure, and you don't go door to door
No, we do not.
because there's those scam people.
Yes.
And I did a show on it many moons ago. I think they're still about, and they come and they say we're collecting donations for the food bank or the Vancouver Food Bank or the Surrey Food Bank,
Right.
and food bank does not go door to door.
We do not go door to door. Periodically, you'll get a school group that may want to do an initiative, and we'll notify the neighborhood that you know that school is coming into your neighborhood. But no, we do not go door to door for money. Certainly not for money. And please, if you do get that, give us a call. Give
Right.
us a call before you give money over to someone who claims they're from the food
From
bank.
the food bank, exactly.
Yes.
Write the check to the food bank, and do you get a receipt, a tax receipt?
Tax receipt for our
Tax
food bank
receipt.
over $20.
Okay, over $20 tax receipt. So that's the amount.
That's the amount.
21. And Shaw will match the 21, and Campbell's will match it, and
Fabulous.
it'll all be good. And together is amazing, as you know. And I like the humor in this book because, as I was saying to Carmel earlier, it's when you're having the tough time to be able to just laugh occasionally. Food is an important part of a balanced diet, says Fran Lebowitz. Right?
Don't you love it?
So true. I love it. It's fantastic. So Shaw's Together is amazing. Fill the food banks until May 11th. Money, baby food, formula,
Protein,
but not fresh food.
not fresh, no.
People, you can get it from the restaurants or some of these
Absolutely.
big banquets and they have leftover lettuce. That's a different
We
thing.
can purchase.
You
and,
can
yeah,
purchase or get it from the supermarkets, that kind of thing.
what you see in your pantry at home. I'm
What you
sure
see in
there's
your pantry.
something that we need at the food bank.
Okay,
so,
excellent.
yeah.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, Fanny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marilyn Herrmann, she is the Executive Director of the Surrey Food Bank.